Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a rut, just spinning your wheels, as if invisible chains are holding you back, preventing you from moving forward, from growing stronger and more confident? More often than not, these unseen restraints are simply our own habits so deeply ingrained we don't even notice them. Today, we're not just talking about bad habits. We're going to examine them through the powerful lens of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that empowers us with strength, tranquility, and genuine control over our own lives. We'll delve into 10 habits that truly undermine your resilience and well-being, and, even more crucially, we'll discover how to immediately begin eliminating them, drawing on the timeless wisdom of figures like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. To begin, let's clarify one crucial point. Stoicism is not about emotionless detachment or adopting a stone face and suppressing your feelings. Far from it. It is, in fact, a profoundly practical philosophy for daily living. The Stoics understood that while we cannot control external events, the things that happen to us, we always have complete control over our responses to them. And in that control lies our true and enduring power. Think of this philosophy as a robust operating system for your mind, specifically designed to help you navigate the complexities and chaos of the modern world. So, let's uncover the first, and perhaps most pervasive, shackle of weakness, the habit of complaining. On the surface, it seems harmless enough. We grumble about the weather, slow internet, our boss, noisy neighbours. It's become a kind of social ritual, a common way to make small talk. Rough day, huh? But what truly lies beneath these words? Every complaint, no matter how small, is a declaration of your own powerlessness. When you complain, you mentally surrender control over your state of mind to external circumstances. You become a victim. I'm in a bad mood because it's raining. My day is ruined because someone said something rude to me. You voluntarily hand over the remote control of your life. The Stoics, however, saw things very differently. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wrote in his journal, "Choose not to be offended, and you won't be." Think about that. This isn't a call to suppress your emotions. It's an invitation to recognize the space that exists between an event and your reaction to it. And in that space lies your power. Instead of wasting energy on complaints, a Stoic asks themselves, what can I do about this? Can't change the weather. Grab an umbrella or enjoy the cozy comfort of your home. Boss gave you a tough assignment? Instead of grumbling, break it down into smaller, manageable steps. Complaining focuses on the problem. The Stoic approach focuses on the solution. Stop being a passive commentator on your life. Become its active author. This is the first and most crucial step toward claiming your inner strength. All right, let's move on. The next habit that truly saps our strength is constant worry about the future. We're like amateur disaster movie directors in our own minds. We spend hours replaying worst-case scenarios that in 99% of cases never actually come to pass. What if I bomb that interview? What if I get sick? What if they think badly of me? This endless internal monologue isn't just background noise, it's a mental vampire. It steals your energy, your focus, and your joy in the present moment. Worrying about the future is essentially paying interest on a loan you might never even take out. And here, the Stoics offer us one of their most powerful tools, the dichotomy of control. It sounds complex, but its core idea is incredibly simple. Simply divide everything in your life into 2 columns. In the first, list what you can fully control. In the second, what is entirely beyond your control. For instance, you can't control traffic, but you can control when you leave for work. You can't control your boss's decision about a promotion, but you can control the quality of your work and your preparation for it. Stoicism teaches us to direct 100% of our attention and energy only to that first column. As for the second, we accept it as a given, like the weather outside your window. Once you master this skill, you'll feel an immense sense of relief. Your anxiety will quiet, and your mind will become clear and sharply focused. Let's talk about a habit that has become a true epidemic in our digital age, the constant chase for external validation. We measure our worth by likes, follow accounts, and the fleeting praise of others. We spend hours perfecting a single photo, meticulously crafting every word in a message, terrified of saying the wrong thing. We transform into chameleons, constantly changing our colours depending on who's watching. But this relentless chase for validation is a slippery slope to weakness. Why? Because you voluntarily surrender control over your self-worth to other people. Your mood begins to swing wildly, dictated by a random comment or a disapproving glance. You cease to be the captain of your own ship and become a mere chip, tossed about by the currents of external opinion. This leaves you profoundly vulnerable and dependent. The Stoic approach here is radically different. A Stoic seeks approval from only one person, themselves. They build their self-worth, not on external glitter, but on an unshakable internal core, their principles and virtues. As Seneca wisely said, it is better to deserve commendation and not receive it than to receive it and not deserve it. What truly matters isn't whether you're praised, but whether you are worthy of that praise. Start practicing this today. Before making any decision, don't ask yourself, what will others think of me? Instead, ask, does this align with my values? When you stop chasing external applause and begin to trust your inner compass, you will discover incredible freedom and unwavering strength. Let's talk about emotions, specifically our tendency to react to them instantly. Imagine this: someone cuts you off in traffic. What's your first automatic response? Chances are it's a surge of anger, an urge to honk or to yell something. Or perhaps a colleague makes a snarky remark at work. Before you know it, you're replaying that interaction all day, stewing in resentment and annoyance. This impulsive reaction to external triggers isn't a sign of strength, it's a sign of vulnerability. It means any random person, any minor event, can pull your strings and dictate your emotional state. You become a puppet tossed around by circumstances. You're not in control of your emotions. They're controlling you. So, what do the Stoics propose? They emphasize the critical importance of a pause. Epictetus taught that between any event and our reaction to it, there's always a brief moment, a space for choice. And it's within that space that our true freedom and power reside. In that precious instant, we can either default to an automatic, almost primal reaction, or we can make a conscious, deliberate choice. When you feel anger or resentment starting to well up, just stop. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this situation truly worth sacrificing my peace of mind? Or will my angry reaction actually solve anything? More often than not, the answer is a resounding no. By mastering this pause, you free yourself from being a slave to your emotions. You begin to choose your reactions and, by extension, your emotional state. And that truly is a superpower. Let's talk about comfort. Our modern society is obsessed with it. We go to great lengths to avoid even the slightest inconvenience. Too cold, we crank up the heater. Too hot, the air conditioning comes on. Food needs to be fast, information easily digestible, and every journey the shortest possible. We've essentially built a comfort bubble around ourselves, and it's making us incredibly fragile. Constantly staying within our comfort zone is like living without ever exercising. Our muscles atrophy, our stamina dwindles. Similarly, our willpower atrophies, along with our ability to cope with difficulties. When life inevitably throws genuine challenges our way, an illness, a job loss, a conflict, we find ourselves completely unprepared. We crumble because we've grown accustomed to these sheltered conditions. The Stoics understood this perfectly. That's why they practiced what could be called voluntary discomfort. This wasn't a form of masochism. It was a workout for the spirit. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, would periodically dress in simple clothes, eat the plainest food, and sleep on a hard floor. Why? To remind himself that he could endure hardship. To understand that true happiness requires far less than we often imagine. You don't need to sleep on the floor, but you can start small. Take a cold shower. Walk instead of taking a taxi. Give up sugar or social media for a day. Each one of these small, conscious discomforts is like a single push-up for your willpower. You're steeling your spirit and proving to yourself that you are stronger than your craving for comfort. This makes you more resilient and prepares you for life's inevitable storms. The next habit that keeps us in a mental prison is living in the past. We repeatedly replay old mistakes, hurts, and missed opportunities in our minds. Oh, if only I had done things differently back then. Why did they treat me that way? How could I have been so foolish? Living in the past is like trying to drive forward while constantly looking in the rearview mirror. You can't see the road ahead, you risk crashing, and you're not moving towards your goals. This mental baggage from the past drains you. It saps your energy for the present and prevents you from building a future. You're dragging a heavy backpack full of stones, and it gets heavier with every step. The Stoics offered a powerful antidote to this habit, the famous principle of memento mori, remember your mortality. At first glance it sounds grim, but it's actually one of the most life-affirming principles. Understanding that our time is limited forces us to value the only thing we truly possess, the present moment. The past no longer exists. It cannot be changed. The future hasn't arrived yet. It's uncertain. The only reality is that here and now. Ask yourself, is rehashing this old hurt serving me right now? The answer is obvious. Instead of dwelling on the past, direct your energy towards what you can do in this very moment. Learn from the mistake and let it go. Forgive the one who wronged you, not for their sake, but for your own, to release that burden. Live in the present, for it's the only time you truly have. Let's talk about a habit that's probably familiar to all of us. Putting things off. Procrastination. We know we need to make that important call, start a project or hit the gym. But instead, we spend hours scrolling through feeds, binge-watching shows, or doing something totally insignificant. We tell ourselves, I'll start tomorrow. But somehow, tomorrow never actually arrives. It's important to understand that procrastination is rarely about laziness. More often than not, it's rooted in fear. Fear of failure. What if I can't do it? Fear of criticism. What if others judge me? Or the fear of an overwhelming amount of work that feels impossible to tackle. By delaying a task, we get momentary relief from this fear. But in the long run, it only amplifies our anxiety and guilt. The Stoic approach to this problem is to focus on the process, not the outcome. Emperor Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself, do what is required and let the rest unfold. Don't dwell on how grand your goal is. Don't worry about how others will perceive it. Simply ask yourself, what's the absolute smallest step I can take right now? Not write a book, but write one sentence. Not get in shape, but do 10 squats. By breaking down a large daunting task into tiny manageable steps, you dismantle the fear and resistance. The Stoics taught that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Don't wait for inspiration or the perfect moment. Just take that one step, and then another. It's in this consistent, disciplined action, not in waiting, that the secret to overcoming procrastination truly lies. Let's talk about words and more specifically, our habit of squandering them. We often engage in gossip, idle chatter, and pointless online arguments. We dissect other people's lives, criticize decisions we can't influence, and simply talk in circles. It might seem like a harmless way to kill time, but in reality, we're squandering something far more precious. Every time you engage in gossip or negative conversations, you're essentially tainting your own mind. You're inviting in negativity, envy, and judgment from others. It's like willingly choosing to have lunch at a garbage dump. What's more, it's a colossal waste of your most valuable resource, your mental energy. Energy that could be channeled into learning, creativity, or solving your own problems. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, placed immense value on the economy of words. His famous advice was, speak only of what matters, or say nothing at all. This isn't about becoming a gloomy or taciturn person. It means your words should carry weight and serve a purpose. Before you speak, ask yourself, will this improve the conversation? Will it benefit me or the person I'm speaking with? Am I building something up or tearing something down? Start practicing mindful speech. Avoid social circles where gossip is the main topic. If you're drawn into such a conversation, politely change the subject or simply stay silent. You'll be amazed at how much more free time and mental clarity you'll gain. Your words are a powerful tool. Use them to build bridges, not dig holes. Let's consider one of the most paralyzing fears, the fear of failure. How many brilliant ideas never saw the light of day? How many talents remained hidden? How many people lived their lives without ever truly trying to achieve their dreams? All because of one habit, the fear of losing. We're so afraid of stumbling that we prefer to not even step onto the path. This fear keeps us trapped in a cage of mediocrity. We opt for safe jobs we dislike, stay in stable but unhappy relationships, and avoid any kind of risk. We believe we're protecting ourselves this way, but in reality, we're depriving ourselves of the most crucial thing, growth. Because growth is only possible where there's risk, where there's a chance of failure. The Stoics encouraged us to completely flip our perspective on failure. For them, an obstacle isn't the end of the road. The obstacle is the way. As Marcus Aurelius put it, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. So, what does this truly mean? Any setback, any difficulty, isn't a cause for despair. It's an opportunity for training. Failed a project? Excellent. Now you know which mistakes not to repeat. Received a rejection? Wonderful. That's a chance to cultivate resilience and develop a thicker skin. Encountered a problem? Fantastic. It's a puzzle for your mind. Failure isn't a death sentence. It's merely feedback from reality. It's the most valuable teacher. When you start perceiving challenges not as barriers, but as training grounds for your spirit, the fear of failure will simply vanish. It will be replaced by excitement and curiosity. I wonder what this situation will teach me. And finally, the most insidious habit of all, precisely because it often goes completely unnoticed, the habit of living on autopilot. Wake up, drink coffee, drive the same route to work, perform routine tasks, come home, watch a TV show, go to bed. And so it goes, day after day, week after week. Days blur into a monotonous grey stream, and we barely notice life slipping away. Life on autopilot is a form of mental hibernation. We react to events habitually, making decisions out of inertia, without ever asking ourselves the crucial questions. Am I heading in the right direction? Am I truly happy? Am I growing as a person? We can live this way for decades, only to one day wake up and realise with horror that someone else has been at the helm all this time, not us. Stoicism at its core is a philosophy of mindful living. It's a call to wake up and take the reins of your own life. One of the Stoics' key practices was evening self-reflection. Every night before bed, Seneca would ask himself 3 questions. What weakness did I overcome today? What did I do well? What could I have done better? This isn't about self-recrimination or beating yourself up. It's an honest, calm audit of your day. This simple practice pulls you out of autopilot mode. It forces you to analyse your actions, notice your habits, and consciously adjust your course. Start doing this tonight. Spend just 5 minutes reflecting on the day gone by. This habit of asking yourself the right questions will gradually transform your unconscious reactions to life into a conscious creation of your own design. And here's the core revelation. All these 10 habits, from incessant complaining to living life on autopilot, much like spokes in a wheel, converge at one central point. A single fundamental error that Stoicism brilliantly uncovers. Our misunderstanding of what truly holds value in our lives. We mistakenly believe our happiness hinges on external things, money, status, others' opinions, or comfort. And when we don't get them, we become vulnerable. We complain, worry, or lash out in anger. But the Stoics tell us the only true value lies in virtue, in other words, your character, your choices, your reactions. This is the one thing no one can ever take away from you. Once you truly grasp this, external circumstances lose their power over you. Failure becomes a lesson, An insult transforms into a test of your equanimity. Discomfort becomes a training ground. You cease to be a puppet of fate and become the undisputed master of your own mind. Shedding these habits isn't a one-time fix. It's a daily practice, a conscious choice to embrace strength over weakness. It's a transformative path that turns the chaos of life into an ordered, purposeful dance. Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. If it gave you food for thought, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on new lessons in wisdom. Now, a question for you. Which of these 10 habits resonated with you the most? And which Stoic tool will you commit to applying starting today? Let me know in the comments below. Let's discuss it together.